Hey, what is up guys? We're here with an early impressions video on Jason. He hasn't been out too long, and I've only been focusing on one variation for the most part, which is Slasher, because I think it's the most simple, most straightforward, most linear. But I wanted to talk a little bit about this character and what I think about him, at least my first impressions. So the thing about Jason in general is that he doesn't have the greatest get off me tools. Like his buttons are kind of slow. That's 8 frames, that's 11 frames. So he doesn't have the greatest like buttons to fight from defensive positioning, right? That's not really his strength. The thing that Jason has going for him for sure though is some excellent damage output. His damage output's really good, and he actually has some pretty decent mid-screen buttons and strings for sure, but his damage output's insane. Like this string and Slasher is his main go-to, and you're getting like a lot of damage off of it pretty consistently. That's 36% meterless. No bar on that or anything, and even if you do something like this, it goes into the same combo, and you're getting a really nice amount of damage, right? That's really good for meterless mid-screen damage, and it carries them all the way to the corner, so that's always a plus too. The thing is though, is that he's not getting a lot off of his overhead mid-screen. That's one of the problems. So most people will just block this low because your overhead, I mean, you could do the shoulder and that has some nice corner carry. You could do this, you get a little extra damage on it or something like that. Or you can do this. This is actually one of the better options, I think, because it does 17%. And it's really nice, but you're not getting a ton off that overhead, right? I mean, that's really nice because 2 of those and your opponent's in the corner, but it's not a ton of damage. So most people will block this low overhead string and will be willing to eat the overhead, right? Which isn't a terrible situation, but it just means that you're gonna have to go for the overhead more and not get as much damage. And again, the reason that overhead into the grab is really nice is because I'll have him duck. The weakness to this move is that you can duck it, right? But if you do the overhead into it, obviously you cannot duck it, because if you're ducking and you get hit by the overhead, then that's going to combo. And if you stand block it, then this will hit you on block. And that's pretty safe on block too, so that's a pretty nice situation. Same with shoulder. It's a high as well, but you have to stand block the overhead, so that's something you'll deal with. Now, let me just reset him and push him to the corner here, because the corner is where I think Jason, especially in Slasher, really shines. Did I not stand him up? There we go. So the thing is, he has a couple of things really going for him here. The first of all is he gets more damage off of this. Like that leads to a little bit more damage than mid-screen. Second thing is that this overhead is actually much more dangerous, because if he ever hits this shoulder, he can combo a down one after. And then that means that he's getting something like this in the corner. You can get a little bit more than that. I just did the easier variation, but yeah, you're doing a lot of damage off the overhead in the corner. So suddenly, overhead is a threat, but that combo is really hard. It's really hard to get that down one after. So overhead is suddenly a threat because you can combo off it, right? Low is suddenly a threat because it does a lot of damage still. So his mix-ups are really scary in the corner, right? Like now he suddenly has some real mix-ups that are threatening and lead to damage from both the overhead option and the low option. Man, that is a really hard combo. Like, it's really tough. So the other thing that I think is really good in the corner is there's 2 more things. First of all, this button is insane. Like, not only is it an excellent anti-air, like if they try to like jump forward like that, it's really good. It stuffs a lot of things, and you can combo off of it fairly easy. Like it's pretty easy to juggle into like 30%. But the thing is, if you ever connect with it, you can do stuff like that and get really easy damage off of it. Like that was like really low damage compared to what you normally would probably get. Like you can get a lot. You can get easily 32-35% off of like a back 2, and it just has such incredible range that it's just really nice. You can even do something like this, and you can combo off it like that. So it's a really good tool in the corner. That button takes up tons and tons of space. Really nice, right? The other thing in the corner, of course, is down 4, the armor. This is so strong. If your opponent doesn't have much life, it's such a great option, because let's say you're doing your normal combo, you can end it a little early here and then pop the armor, and your opponent's in trouble, because if you hit something like this into the overhead and the combo, you're gonna do like 60% between those 2 things, and your opponent should pretty much be dead if they have less than 40% life before you hit them in that situation, right? So it's really hard for them to deal with. The only problem is though, like let's say you pop this or whatever, and like, all right, I'll do my combo or whatever, and blah blah, and I'll end the combo, and then the problem is you go into this cooldown mode. If your opponent's not dead, you're going to eat a free combo, and you're going to lose your corner positioning, because they can push you all the way back to mid-screen with whatever combo they do. So that's kind of rough, right? That's not a situation you want to be in, but it's really good for closing out the round when you have them in the corner, because that's a lot more dangerous now because you have armor on it. And then this, of course, same thing. It's safe pretty much because you have infinite armor. That's a really scary situation to be in, and something that Jason can get pretty easily because he pushes you to the corner really fast. Same thing with this. You can use that to set up. Walk up, go for mix-ups. Really, really strong. So I think that this is where Jason shines, right? Especially in Slasher. The corner control is very nice. He gets real damage in the corner off of his overheads and his low. And yeah, he just becomes a much scarier character once he pushes you there. Again, his defensive options as far as buttons go and stuff like that, not the greatest, a little slow and stuff like that. But man, his corner damage and corner control and that armor, very, very scary stuff. So this is just some of my early thoughts on Jason. I thought I would let you guys know. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'll be doing a lot more of this kind of stuff soon. And of course, the character breakdowns when the other DLC characters come out. Thank you guys for watching, and stick around for some more stuff and some Jason gameplay. So see you guys again soon.